Welcome to the 2023 Vortexa Innovation Series. Following the immense success of last year's Innovation Week, this year we're taking it to a completely new level with 5 global locations, starting with London, New York City, Houston, Abu Dhabi, and Singapore. This is a one-of-a-kind event in our industry, really bringing together the global community, energy, and freight markets to learn from each other and think together about some of the key topics driving our industry, including one of the biggest challenges facing humanity today, the energy trilemma. How can we balance sustainability, security, and affordability simultaneously? Energy markets are at the core of this massive global optimization problem we're facing. And the better and faster information we have, the more efficient markets become, and the better we can solve this challenge. Vortexa is here to help you optimize the world. Innovation Series here to help us accelerate our path. I wish you a fantastic time shaping the future of our industry.
The oil markets, again, going through a very interesting period. We have, without doubt, quite some question marks on the demand side, recession fears around the world, slowdown in China. We have an OPEC Plus group that is trying to curtail supply and to drive prices higher. But the question is basically, how do you measure that? Yeah, to measure the actual oil demand in China or to measure the actual oil supply in Russia or in Saudi Arabia or in other OPEC countries is actually pretty difficult. And the question is also, what is actually relevant? How much wellhead production there is, or is it relevant how much they export, or is it ultimately relevant how much of their oil is arriving in consuming countries? And I would say the last one is the most relevant one, and we see, for example, that Saudi Arabia is currently supplying more crude to the Chinese market than in July. On the demand side, again, it's pretty tricky to measure exact demand levels. I think there is a very wide range of agreement that jet fuel demand and gasoline demand is doing reasonably well, but there are huge concerns about diesel consumption. And to shed a little bit more light on that question, we did a special exercise. We looked at the 100 biggest ports in the world in terms of diesel imports, and we look at those that are really predominantly importing, so 90% of the overall flows are importing. And if you look at the resulting data that includes also intra-country flows, we can actually see that diesel imports into these 100 ports around the world are holding up pretty strongly. They are above last year values throughout the year. They are significantly higher than the 5-year average, and overall so far this year we have about a 7% year-on-year growth rate. And that compares to the widely known US diesel implied demand figures, which so far this year have been about 5% down. So this gives really a very different impression of how the market is doing. So if we add these things up, we have demand side indicators that look pretty okay. We have clearly some tightness on the supply side. Oil inventories have been falling over the last couple of weeks, both onshore and offshore. So overall, that makes up for a pretty constructive autumn. So in conclusion, we have a situation where oil demand is actually doing by far not as bad as many people think. We clearly have a tightening supply picture driven by the OPEC Plus efforts, and this is also reflected in falling inventories, both onshore and offshore for the last couple of weeks. So overall, this makes up for a pretty constructive autumn season, and would invite you to join our clients, governments, research organizations, and the media in making use of our innovative analytics and simply understand better what matters in the market and what direction we are going.
With recent shifts due to geopolitical developments, technological advancements, and environmental considerations, the global energy market remains complex and ever-evolving, making it more challenging than ever to monitor and predict oil and gas flows. At Vortexa, our mission is to provide the most comprehensive and precise view of seaborne energy flows. We do this by taking our in-house domain expertise and enhancing it with the latest technology in data analytics and machine learning. The products we create need to keep up with the pace of change so that we, our clients, and our partners can continue to make sense of these markets and shape the future of the industry. Let's explore our latest innovations that center around predicting a tanker's destination. Achieving global coverage and high confidence in destination predictions are necessities in analyzing energy flows and are foundational to our mission. Each tanker on the ocean is its own unique puzzle, with its own objectives, its own intricacies, and impact on both micro and macro levels. Where a vessel is heading has far-reaching implications that inform trading strategies, shape decisions, and create opportunities. But making meaningful, accurate predictions has massive challenges. When a vessel embarks on their journey from point A to B, it's not a straightforward trip. They often need to make stops along the way for refueling, conduct a ship-to-ship transfer, or partially unload their cargo. But what truly matters is the ultimate destination. Where will the vessel load its first cargo or complete its final discharge? Additionally, there's the Automatic Identification Systems, AIS. AIS provides data about a vessel including its current position, speed, and navigational status. While they are widely used, they can also be quite unreliable. For example, a vessel may be transmitting that it's heading to a waypoint, such as the Suez Canal. However, we know that's not the ultimate destination. To further complicate matters, the signals may be incomplete, non-existent, or worse, intentionally incorrect, due to the desire of some market participants who want to maintain secrecy and create confusion, especially in the face of international sanctions. These challenges, combined with further complexities, make the prediction of a tanker's eventual destination harder than ever. Thus, by combining advanced data science with domain intelligence, we set out to predict accurate destinations in real time with exceptional coverage, while crucially understanding when a vessel's signals can or can't be trusted. We've compiled data from a comprehensive range of diverse sources, including AIS signals, port agents, fixtures, and custom records, creating a thorough archive of both historical and current data, validated by our team of experienced energy analysts. On top of this, we've built a predictive model using neural networks, a type of machine learning model that is designed to mimic the way the human brain works. The model generates predictions at port and regional levels, each with their own confidence score. Once a destination prediction is generated, we enrich it with an estimated time of arrival that leverages path analysis of maritime routes and waiting times at ports, ensuring we offer the most accurate ETA prediction possible. And thus, with sophisticated machine learning models, we're not only delivering superior quality of predictions that enable precise and future-proof analytics, but also better positioning ourselves, our clients, and our partners for continued evolution in a rapidly changing industry. In the crude market, where uncertainty and volatility are ever present, accurate and timely information is not just a nice-to-have, but a necessity. A necessity for traders and analysts to be able to effectively assess supply and demand shifts, with prices driven now more than ever by seaborne supplies. Traditional analysis in this domain often relies on a fragmented set of data sources, often containing outdated figures and unverifiable claims, leading to unreliable conclusions. Using Vortexa's proprietary datasets for crude imports, exports, and inventories, we enable a more sophisticated approach based on factual and timely data, aligning with the real needs of our clients and partners. Vortexa's ability to track historical and future crude flows down to the specific grade is complemented by our extensive coverage of onshore inventories, with over 6.5 billion barrels tracked across 113 countries. Each week, our in-house team of experienced market analysts cover the latest trends in supply and demand, slicing and dicing the data via our intuitive trading analytics platform to gain the needed insights. To highlight a few examples from this summer, we've provided insights into how Japan's crude imports have been falling, reaching a multi-year low, all while their inventories have been increasing over consecutive months, a strong sign of a decline in demand. On the Americas front, we've seen PAD 3 inventory draws since March, required to meet the growing export demand as US crude production has stagnated. Furthermore, our unique tracking capabilities surrounding Iranian flows and inventories showed that in May, crude condensate exports increased to a record high under sanctions. As for the reasons behind this increase, we've seen significant stock draws from Iranian onshore storage facilities, which indicate they've been a key contributor coupled with large reported increases in production. These are just a few examples of how traders and analysts can use seaborne flows data in conjunction with inventory volumes to better anticipate balances and price developments. By utilizing Vortexa's web platform or programmatically accessing the datasets via our API, you can use factual data and leading indicators to sharpen one's short and medium-term picture of supply and demand balances, enabling you with the ability to make informed decisions quickly and with confidence.
I've worked for years in the global macro energy space, helping firms navigate and execute trades across multiple products. Throughout my journey, I've experienced macro events from the 2008 subprime crisis, peak oil, the shale revolution, clean energy initiatives, and the COVID pandemic, all lending itself to volatility across the market. Working for Vortexa, it's incredible to see the capabilities in which our data, AI models, and our expert analysts track real-time movements across the barrel and produce powerful analytics to navigate a constantly evolving world. With the Russian invasion of the Ukraine, crude and product flows have been completely disrupted. Sanctioned barrels are traveling greater distances for a longer period of time, creating unprecedented physical movements and trade flows that are having a major impact on financial pricing across every energy product. A major change as of June of this year has been the addition of the WTI Midland crude into the Brent complex, the first non-North Sea crude stream included in the 35-year history of the benchmark. The Vortexa team has observed the emergence of a new trend in the US market since May of this year, a significant increase in crude exports, especially into Europe, in the second half of the month compared to the first. The potential reason is that the WTI trading window rolls into the next trading cycle around the 20th of each month, while the expiry of the Brent contract happened towards the end of the month. The inclusion of the WTI into the dated benchmark has moved the trading cycle for the grade to a more prompt period. Previously, European refiners would buy cargoes delivered between 1 to 2 months out of the curve, but most deals are now trading for cargoes delivered between 12 days to a month ahead, shortening the cycle and a much more spot-driven market. Using these flows and identifying these trends, Vortexa can help indicate which direct Brent futures might be heading. Vortexa doesn't stop with these product flows. We have the data and the expertise to take a deeper dive into the freight component of this new pattern. Can the Brent price be as simple as WTI US Gulf Coast plus freight? I'm not certain, but time will tell, and Vortexa can provide the powerful insights to help manage this new change in the market.
FedEx, a logistics services provider, started the system for package tracking in 1979 with the intention of improving customer service and quality control. Since then, it is unimaginable that package tracking wouldn't be a part of the e-commerce journey. It is around the same time that a small number of oil market participants, at a time when a host of new companies were rising from a post-Seven Sisters of Oil world, started tracking cargoes on the water. Not only their own cargoes, but others they had knowledge of, to try and increase their competitive advantage through a greater accumulation of information. Though the idea of cargo tracking is not new, and similar to package tracking, it seems unimaginable to live in a world with zero visibility of some form when it comes to flows of energy on the water. It is really in the past decade that these capabilities have been elevated to a level that allowed the democratization of this data. This has been allowed by a combination of factors, including cheaper access to satellite data, as well as a quantum leap in the modeling capabilities available, amongst others, that are actually some of the foundations behind the birth of Vortexa. It would have been too easy to rest on our laurels, however, to focus solely on tracking cargo flows. Whilst we had been focused on a cargo-centric view of the world for a number of years, we started working more closely with a number of companies focused on shipping energy across the world, whether chartering departments within oil majors and trading houses, ship brokers, or ship owners. By listening closely to their needs, we realized sticking to a cargo-centric view of the world only allowed solving part of their particular equation. What we did next was to flip our data on its head and look at the world through a new lens, one that was voyage-centric. Ultimately, we created in the process the world's first and most complete voyage analytics dataset. Vortexa's voyages data was born. It represents today more than 320,000 voyages per year, encompassing more than 12,000 energy carriers across oil, gas, and chemical cargoes. It can be as granular as looking at a specific vessel, or aggregated for an analysis on a specific ship owner's fleet, vessel class, or even a global fleet. Amongst others, the data can be split by vessel status, ballast or laden, cargo status, loading, discharging, in transit or in floating storage, or by origin or destination for a specific route. Unique use cases include, but are not limited to, looking at voyage counts via waypoints, real-time vessel utilization, a competitive fleet analysis, or even looking at real-time clean-dirty tanker switching. Creating this dataset also allowed our partners to gain programmatic access to our freight intelligence in a clean and intuitive way through Vortexa's Python software development kit, available through API, further refining the applications of our data to meet their specific needs. This allowed our partners and users to embed the data within their workflows and gain insights into the market in ways we had never imagined possible. Together, we continue to push the frontiers of innovation in our industry. Vortexa's Freight Analytics product suite gives charterers, ship owners, and analysts critical insights into supply and demand dynamics for freight markets. These include vessel availability, fleet utilization, fleet distribution, congestion, as well as a voyage calculator. Ultimately, charterers and ship owners use Vortexa's data to support their decision when it comes to making a call on the market, and most importantly, to assess the future direction of the market. In other words, the impact real-time market fundamentals have on freight rates. This is where Vortexa's freight pricing comes in partnership with the Baltic Exchange. The Baltic Exchange is not only a membership organization for the maritime industry, but the leading provider of freight pricing assessments for the trading and settlement of physical and derivative contracts. Through our market-leading partnership, Vortexa provides access to the Baltic Exchange's freight pricing assessments and market benchmarks to immediately assess the latest published assessments, whether in world scale, dollar per ton, or time charter equivalent, but also presented historically to provide an accurate context. Key benefits include evaluating how much it would cost or how much one could earn if a vessel was fixed today, whilst also quickly assessing the risk to reward ratio of conducting business by linking the latest published assessments with vessel supply and demand dynamics. Through our data, we are empowering all parties to calculate the strength of their position and arrive at a fair deal. Did we stop there? Of course not. Vortexa's Freight Market Outlook, as part of our freight pricing offering, provides a unique, data-driven future outlook based on physical market factors. In turn, this provides reliable current market sentiment predictions when it comes to the future direction of freight rates across key benchmark routes. Our outlook modeling takes into consideration nearly 70 different factors out of 2,600 potential data inputs that directly influence future market sentiment. These include freight rates on selected routes, freight rates on related routes, the price of commodity indices, vessel speed, vessel availability, to just name a few. Our users are now able to harness three key benefits. Firstly, comprehensive price direction predictions, evaluating whether these predictions lead to rates firming, softening, or remaining flat. Secondly, quick and easy prediction confidence ratings, with our straightforward and transparent assessment of the accuracy of our modeling. And last but not least, our outlook is delivered ultra-fast in our intuitive user interface, alongside our proprietary historical and forward supply and demand market fundamentals data. As such, we are now able to combine the capabilities of today's existing established data providers with our next generation modeling capabilities to further enhance our partners and users' edge in the market and support our mission in increasing transparency in energy and freight markets.
What an incredible sequence of presentations. The edge of technology has moved so much since last year's event, and it's clearly accelerating. What is already possible today was unthinkable just a few months ago. With this speed of change, immense opportunities in the energy and freight markets have been and continue to be created by technology and those who can use it. Thank you for joining us today.